Hi, you. It's me, Nicole Phoenix Star, and this is the Nick Star podcast. So, the title of this podcast is surprisingly, perhaps, I'm not a fan of yoga. It's been such a funny thing for the last um nearly 14 years. People presume that I do yoga regularly, that I teach yoga, and I'm all into yoga. And every time anyone's asked me, I said no. They've been like completely surprised. I kind of tried to get into it and I just didn't enjoy it. I found the constant moving and things just really disjointed. And I've never been like very like flexible. And I just didn't like it. Um, and during my journey of, ultimately running spiritual retreats, and as a meditation teacher, and as things evolved, it really was a common thing. And interestingly, I didn't realize at the time, but probably about 3 months after I had Leo, I wanted to start doing some exercise, and I had a young friend of mine who was both a PT and a yoga teacher, and we used to do kind of PT training at home, like in the pool or around, I don't know, just doing random stuff. And then a couple of friends of mine, we started doing yin yoga with her as well. And I didn't realize at any time, or retain perhaps, the correlation. I didn't really kind of think about it, but she called it yin something else, but she didn't ever just call it yin yoga. And it was holding certain poses on the floor for an extended amount of time. And I did enjoy that quite a lot. Found myself in tears semi-regularly, which can happen on the mat, especially when you're still highly hormonal from birth and breastfeeding and a lot going on in your life. It was just this beautiful place to lean into and be. Yeah, it was fascinating. Anyway, and then she left the island and I didn't do it anymore. Didn't realize what was or what. Anyway, and yeah, like I have had a myriad of yoga teachers teaching yoga on my retreats to my students, and I didn't participate because I was most of the time busy organizing other things and utilizing that time for other aspects of the retreat. And yeah, I just kind of had this belief that I personally didn't like doing it. I knew there was incredible benefits, but it just was never a thing that worked for me. Until I refound yin, and it is one of my most favorite things to do because it doesn't feel like what my brain thinks yoga is, even though clearly is. Um, and it's been a huge, huge part of my wellness journey. So after I hacked the whole eating thing and completely found the sweet spot of my macros and my calories, and that was not only releasing weight but was balancing my hormones, and I was coming back to life. I woke up one morning after about 9 months and was like, I'm ready to exercise now. And I did. I started doing a metabolic kind of HIIT 18-minute workout program that I had dabbled in a couple of times a few years before when I was educating myself. And it was, definitely in the high times of perimenopause chaos when I did have some energy and stuff. And then I'd get depleted again because I didn't have my food sorted, even though I thought I was eating very healthy. And, on paper it was, but I wasn't eating hormonally aligned for the season of my life. Anyway, and so I started doing that and I found I was really stiff. Lots of squats will do that. And I found my body, although like the hormonal aches and pains had pretty much gone, I was really suffering from the stiffness in my body from working out because they're so efficient. Like it's 18 minutes 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, 18 minutes. And it's not difficult. It's not like, leaves you completely depleted or anything. It's just super efficient and works with all the different hormones beautifully. But I found that I was very sore afterwards. And, I used to live in a 2-story house that had quite a lot of stairs, and walking up and down these stairs and the stairs from my house up to my parking area, it was difficult. And then, stepping back in the day after, and working out again, oh my God, it was really quite a lot at times. And I really felt like I needed to stretch. And somehow, through the synchronicities of gloriousness, I just knew that I needed to do yin. I actually had done a little bit of yin when I was in Canada. And so I don't know, it just dropped in. And I searched on YouTube, because I only ever work out at home, a yin yoga practice, 30 minutes yin yoga. And I stumbled after a couple of, trials with other instructors, a guy called Travis Elliott, based in the US, and he has been such an instrumental part of my journey. He has a lot of yogic philosophy, and he comes from a very, kind of wisdom-based, similar background to me. And he weaves that through just superbly, and just stretching out my body in these poses and holding them for a long time on the floor and not having to jump up and down and move and do all of that. It was the exact medicine my body needed, and what I, give to everyone that works with me. And just holding that, and it, like, if you just go through the tension, there's this melting effect. And it's like, and what it is it's getting down into the fascia. And it just feels like this melting away, and your body just has this like elongation, and like the pain just subsides. And it just became this beautiful place that I would do on alternate days. So I would do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and like go for a short walk on Saturday and rest on Sunday. And I watched my flexibility change. I watched like just my like all inflammation that was residual was gone, and just the agility that I found, and also like how it contributed to the workout and not being stiff and sore, which kind of you then compensate and don't work out the same, and or maybe even injure yourself. So, you know, although I don't like other styles of yoga at this point in my life, personally, I adore it for those that do. I adore it for what it is. But right now, I am so in love with yin yoga. It is, it's just this beautiful place to be with your body and honor it. And it's gentle yet so deep. And like I said, Travis is this beautiful instructor that holds incredible space, and he offers up these free 30-minute yin yogas on his channel, and he does have other programs, paid programs and all that, which I've never had any need or desire to go into, just because he has such a massive amount of videos on his channel that are just there. And sometimes I have a few favorites and I go back and revisit them, and they're like old friends and I love them. And I went up in weights not long ago, and I was feeling a lot of strain in my shoulders and in my shoulder blades. And yeah, I was whippersnippering, weed whacking my back lawn the other day, and I really strained my right shoulder, and I just knew that I had to run to my laptop and go onto Travis's channel and find shoulder and upper back stretches. And yeah, just like that. After one session, my back was like 80% better. And there's this pose called eagle pose, where you kind of wrap your arms like a snake in front of you in a particular way, and it just stretches out across the shoulder blades. Oh my God. It's just like instant relief. And yeah, and then I actually did another one the next day. It was actually only a 10-minute one I'd never actually done before. Yeah, and yeah, my back's been awesome ever since, and I haven't had that twinging or kind of stuff going on in my back or shoulders since, while using the new heavier weight in my 18-minute workouts, because that's what I do. Like I work out for 18 minutes 3 times a week, and I normally do one yin yoga once a week, and one other day I'll go for a walk, whether it's a 20-minute walk. But I have found this new amazing loop around the area I live that weaves through different streets and around kind of the waterfront houses, and there's all these little bridges and stuff, and then there's this big like kind of like woods there's all these like just trees, or like it's really more of a forest, I guess. A tropical forest. It's not the woods. It just kind of have woods energy about it. And it's just this beautiful, incredible walk that takes you on this journey. And I've been listening to some really amazing podcasts on consciousness being fundamental and not emergent. So I've been, walking through these ever-changing environments while listening to this kind of brain-bending stuff. And the weather's been beautiful. It's been, such a lovely weave into my movement that I do for my wellness. And, it never feels like, a burden. And it never feels like, I've got to do that. It's part of my workout routine or whatever. It's never like that. It's just like, I get to do this for me, and I get to do this for my body, and my body, just loves me for it, and it feels so good. And it, I don't know, I've never felt it's ever been a burden. And I don't know, like, I did go through a phase where I used to do yin 2-3 times a week. And then I had a spell where I didn't do it for about 2 months. And I really noticed the difference in my body, and how the agility wasn't there, and how I just didn't feel as limber or as like vital even. And I came back to it, and it was like, oh, my friend, my old darling friend. And my body just melted and was like, so yeah, I am definitely a great, great lover of yin yoga. Haven't found a love affair with more fast-paced moving yoga at this stage of my life. And, never say never, but what's working right now is absolutely complementary to this season in my life. And it's easy, and it's not overwhelming. And everyone that I've given it to, no matter whether they, are really starting super raw and fresh, or a little bit down the journey, have said, oh my God, I love the yin yoga. I can do it. It's not difficult. I don't even get puffed. And I'm like, no, it's just like stretching. And they're like, yeah, but it makes you feel so good, and my body feels so happy. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I, suggest sometime soon, go to YouTube and look for Travis Elliott, with one L in the Elliott. He also does this power yoga, which I've never done. Like, it's like extreme hardcore power yoga. And he does power yoga, and he does yin yoga. It's kind of like the two ends of the spectrum. I'm just in that yin yoga corner, and have no desire or need to do any power yoga as a menopausal woman. Maybe as a postmenopausal woman I'll get into it. Who knows? I did actually go to the doctors recently to order my latest data gathering. Get some bloods done, find out where my numbers are, just because that's what I do. And yeah, my hormones were sublime. Sweet spot. Very, very good. So that was not a surprise, but it's always nice to see on paper that your hormones are in a balanced, lovely spot, which was no surprise, like I said. Um, yeah. And he was very impressed with my thyroid numbers for a woman my age. I'm like, yeah, that's funny because you have so many people come in with thyroid issues, but you don't realize all the people you don't see that don't have thyroid issues. But I understand that it is a very common thing for women. I did have a thyroid issue at one stage in my life when I was in I was very unaware. I was in perimenopause chaos. I was confused. I didn't understand what was happening to me. And then it would go away. And I felt okay. Then it came back. And I was confused. Then it went away. And that's what happens. It lulls you through this state of confusion. And because there's not someone to talk to you about it, you just don't know. So I'm here to talk to you about it anytime you like. Anyway, I literally got off the map just before, and I wanted to share with you that I love yin yoga, and my body does, and it is such a beautiful, very quick affecting, very quick acting, beautiful thing that you can do for your body, that just the sensation of the melting that happens when the fascia just goes. It's extraordinary. All right, my love, thank you so much for listening. I'm so grateful. If there's anyone that you feel may benefit from my sharing today, please share. My website is www.nickstar.com, NIKSTARR.